ethics and sustainability plays a very important role. And what we intend to do is basically build the whole segment right from the mine to the market. Although we are a mining company that markets, our strategy is to mine and sell a rough gemstone to our trade partners, but we also will be operating a lot from our marketing division, talking to our end consumer through the route of our trade partners. So what we intend to do is create a lot of education, trading, making people understand and explaining the intrinsic features, not only about the gemstone, but also the provenance, where it comes from, and how we mine and build the segment, taking the environment, health and safety together. We're also planning to build the blockchain model to help the extra leg for the provenance route. We're also trying to work with some of the lab where we can have the traceability of the gemstone coming from the source, both for the Colombian emerald mine and as well as for the Mozambican rubies. So right now our core focus is to build the mine. In 2017, as we started the operation, our key activity was to build the mine, get the mine operating up and running. So we were quite successful in last 14 months, not only to set up the Fura operation in Dubai to have the headquarters, but also we acquired 4 ruby licenses in the world's largest ruby market, that is Mozambique, and the world's largest emerald market, that is Colombia. As we are trying to develop that segment and getting the product out of the market, what we are also trying to do is create that awareness and education. So we have been talking to a lot of the trade media, especially focusing on the Colombian emeralds, to educate the market, and there's a lot of perception that comes out in the market about Colombia in specific, but we are trying to educate the market that right now it's a new Colombia. There is no conflict, it's a peace country, and we don't see any issue coming out from Colombian market in particularly. As far as Mozambican ruby is concerned, we have a solid experience in working for the last 10 years, but we are also trying to develop this segment, but our core activity right now has been focused more on Colombia. See, I think it has been phenomenal, it has been well received. So color gemstone is a trend right now in the market. If you see last 5 years in particularly, the trend has been growing like 40 to 50% year on year, due to the fact that we come from a very low base, but that also is going to stabilize over the period of time, but we'll still see a growth of 10 to 15% annually as we go around building the segment. But the acceptability, especially the millennials, are accepting the color gemstone as a new trend, which we are finding the trend both in the Western market as well as from the Indian market and the Asian market particularly. And India becomes a very important market for us, particularly basically because between India and China, both the market caters to 60% of our market share. See, as our vision is, we are very clear. Our vision is not to start producing emeralds and rubies. Our vision is basically to build the business which is employee friendly, community centric, and have the sustainability on the heart of the operations. And in particularly with the community, we believe that when you have to build the mine, you have to take the community along with you, especially in Colombia. Even before we put our first investment or our first production plan, the first thing we did was to have an engagement with the community. We did a pre-socialization plan, engaging with the community, explaining them about our plan, our strategy, how we are going to develop the mine. And after acquiring the project, we went and engaged with the community, explaining them what the next step we are going to take to develop the mine and the employment opportunity they are going to have as we go along growing the mine. Make no mistake, in Colombia, historically and culturally, people were never employed as an employee, and we are going to be the first time ever in their lifetime they are going to see an employment opportunity. So we have been engaging with them, explaining how the engagement process is going to take place. See, we are going to segment our market share in 2 ways. In the first 3 to 4 years, we want to get up to 10% of the market shares globally. And as we grow along over the period of 10 years, we want to increase the market share at 15% globally. It's very important. I think the message for the Indian retail industry has been that the color gemstone space is going to remain, and it's going to remain forever. It's very important that the transparency is built into the segment. It's very important that whatever product has been treated has to be disclosed. Disclosure should be a prime importance of the segment, and the transparency is what they should be practicing and telling the consumer what they have done, and bringing the transparency is going to play a very important role, especially in this part of the world where millennial wants to know everything.